guys, how's it going today? Thank you for joining stream 4. Forgive me for being a little late. Lost track of time a little bit. I was just shoving my lunch into my face. Hey. Hi Yoshi. Yo yo yo. Oh hey Nathan, I recognize you. Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, Yoshi Foods. I'll definitely check out your music later. I've been busy working on my next YouTube video. Yeah, so about now is when I want to go over what I've been working on. I'm a little quiet. Okay. Thank you for oh, right. That was for the YouTube video. I had to turn the game down. See his little nose? Okay. Alright. I think let me know how that sounds. I think actually I remember it points towards his pupil. I think that's how I remember. Alright, hello, testing. How do I sound? Good? Okay, great. Yeah, yeah, thanks everyone for joining the stream. So now's about the time where I yeah, just go over what I've been working on since the last stream. I definitely sound, that's good to hear. Oh, and Yoshi, if you didn't hear me, I'll listen to your music later. I've just been really busy, but yeah, I'd love to give you some feedback. So yeah, what have I been working on? I had some patch notes here, which you can't see. There we go. Put me in the corner. Yeah, since last stream, I released a new build, and I did, yeah, start World 3 a little bit, which is pretty exciting. And I added this compendium, which is, music's cool now. I should turn it off actually. Yeah, I added this compendium, which as you play through the game, you will unlock different information about like items and enemies and just the world and stuff. So yeah, you can learn about like the different weapons you have. One interesting thing I added is like a difficulty bar for each weapon, and they go from left to right. Where I think the poker deck is probably the most difficult, so there's that little bit of like recognition, I think is the word. Because usually in roguelikes, all the weapons are kind of like the same difficulty, they're just like a little different. But something I wanted to do was like each weapon was a little like more difficult to use. So like once you beat the game with like the easy weapon, you could work your way up. Yeah, so that's the compendium. Yeah, also in between worlds. Is this it? Yeah. Once you reach a new world, you will have to give up some of your modules, which are your like upgrades and stuff. How's it cooking, funny looking? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, in between worlds, you will have to give up modules. Why didn't it work? Oh, right. I'm not reading what I'm doing. It's not the number. So yeah, I will hard code it to make it me give up 2 things. So yeah, this is the falling animation. I don't have any modules, but normally if I did, those would be options to give up. But in the event that you don't have modules to give up, you can accept indictments instead. To like make the game harder and stuff and make your luck worse. So yeah, it's another cool thing I added. I think it's pretty neat. One problem, I played through the current build of the game a bunch of times just to get a feel for how the game is, doing. And one of the things I noticed was like I didn't like how if you're like doing really well, you could get all your modules at the start of the game and then just like keep going through the whole run with the same modules, like if you were like lucky, if you got like a good build going. So this is to solve that problem where you kind of have to decide which modules to give up, so kind of like things are always changing. Yeah, so that should make things more interesting. What is next? Yeah, I did lots of balance changes, but I did start World 3, which I can show you. So World 1 is like forest themed. World 2 is it's like a factory farm. This is where everyone in this world gets their meat. It's pretty gross. There's not a lot of regulation going on there. Yeah, in World 3, I still haven't really figured it out, but I think it's gonna be like technology themed. It could have like, you know, anything from like VR stuff to like generative AI art. I think we could cover here. We can make some like pretty crazy stuff. Hey Kadir, how's it going? Thanks for joining the stream. Not as bad as Amazon. Yeah, we'll get to them. They're not safe from my critique, but yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think in World 3 I'll have this like new wave like enemy thing sprinkled throughout. So yeah, the gimmick here is that normally a room will have like 1 to like 5 like stronger enemies, where this is just like it's throwing lots of like, you know, little guys at you over and over, kind of like what you would expect in like Vampire Survivors or Picayune Dreams, those kinds of games. So it's like Swarm, I think it's called like Swarm Defense or something, but yeah, this is part of one of the sections in the new like technology themed world. I'm gonna turn the audio down. AI generated enemies with funky hands. Yes, definitely. It's on the list of things. There's only 4 enemies so far. There's this, and they're all kind of like themed after like emojis or whatever. So yeah, the smiley faces just go at you really slowly. The cowboys will like chase you and then slow down. This like mouth thing shoots at you, and these nose guys like hang out up here at top. And also, yeah, you can notice the chat in the background as well. I had a lot of fun coming up with all the different like nasty things they say to you. But yeah, there's that. So yeah, that's what I have done since last stream. I've also been working on a YouTube video, which goes over just like what it was like to work on Garbanzo Quest and what release day was like. And I just finished a rough draft of that like half an hour ago. It's about 15 minutes long. Yeah. So I'm excited to share that with the world as well. I'm not quite sure what I want to work on today. Default. Oh, I think I need to plug my keyboard in. Running out of batteries. There we go. I don't know what was happening. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I want to work on today for today's stream. One thing I was leaning towards was I really want to add like moving platforms that you can ride. I think that could be an interesting like gimmick I can use for World 3. I also added teleporters. And also added treadmills as well, so that could be like the theme, like the gimmicks I could use for this world, which could be fun. I don't know why he's here. Anyways, yeah, here's the teleporters. Teleporters are like really easy to implement. So this took like half an hour. Yeah, and here's the treadmills. Right. Yeah. So I think I don't quite have enough like toys to play with to start making rooms for World 3. So yeah, I think I want to add a moving platform that you can like ride and stuff. I also am disappointed I can't shoot my bullet into the teleporter, but I could do that. Fix that really quickly. Yeah, let's just start doing stuff. So, oh yeah, all I have to do is add a tag that says allow teleport. So I bet it'll work now. Yeah, sick. It's always nice when things are easy. It probably will not work with enemies. I don't know where this guy keeps coming from. So, trying to think of the simplest way to do this. So I can think of one way that's kind of hacky. So I could go into every single like enemy file and add this tag that allows them to be teleported, or they all enemies already have this enemy tag on them, so I could check in here if they're an enemy and add the tag here instead. So it'll automatically get added to every thing that has a enemy tag on it. Oh, what about a teleporter on a rail? So you'd have to pay attention so you don't teleport out into the void. That's a cool idea. Yeah, I can definitely explore that. So is this game kind of like a single screen game? Yeah, like most of the rooms are designed around single screens, but I definitely do have plenty of rooms that are bigger than that. Like this hallway. All the grass was white, that was weird. But yeah, this is one long room. It's not just a single screen. Yeah, I like the rail teleporter idea, for sure. But yeah, the fly should be able to teleport now. Their pathfinding won't think to use the teleporters, but if they do touch them, it like functions. Yeah, let's try Yoshi's idea. What if a claw hand on a rail that you can hook onto? Interesting. I don't know how I'd do that, but I like the idea. Oh neat, it already works. So yeah, if I touch this teleporter when it's in the void, that's probably gonna hurt. That time it right. You doing that? Okay, well, it probably only checks for a void, like after you teleport or dash in. Yeah, like that. Whatever. Yeah, if I do end up using this idea, I will definitely fix that. But for now, I'm just gonna not worry about it. Yeah, let's. I think what I want to do is add a moving platform. So before I can do that, I need to draw it, of course. Start with something simple for now. Okay, yeah, honestly, this might be enough. Whatever I'm drawing here. I am using the wrong palette though. Yeah, I love this song. Yeah, Mario Paint, one of my favorite soundtracks for sure. Let's just run with that for now. Why not? You can see all the. I made a lot of like goofy drawings for the YouTube video today. You can see a lot of those. So I'll just cram this in my sprites folder. Moving platform. I think I saved it as an ASprite file. It needs to be a PNG. So now that we have the sprite, I can start coding it. And I'll just copy and paste from the teleport file for now. So yeah, it will now. Yeah, whenever you add a new file, it usually I have hot reload enabled, but yeah, it had to restart the entire project. So yeah, even now we should have a thing, like a little platform that we can attach to a train track, and it'll move around. Actually, I need to make the import file. That's what I'll do right now. That's annoying. See, I didn't successfully save the PNG because of the typo. Let's try that again. .png. There it is. So yeah, these import files are pretty simple. These are just a few things that the game needs, so it will show up in the editor. So right here is what thing, like file to make when I place this down. I wonder what layer it should be on. Maybe round 2 for now. Okay. And this needs to be, this is the name of the file, so I'm gonna make sure that's correct. I will reload the game. And yeah, there it is. Okay, great. So I should be able to attach a train to it and put that on tracks. It's a little smaller. That guy keeps coming from. But yeah, anyways, there it is. Does not work yet, but we have a thing that's going back and forth, which is exciting. Yeah, so now I just have to figure out how exactly to actually implement this. Think about it for a minute. Might be as simple as just having a list of passengers and moving them with us. So let's start with that. New list of. So yeah, we can for now just write a list of passengers to the screen that we have, just to make sure that's working. I could do that here instead. It's a little simpler. I will instead log it to the log. It should say 0. So now we need to find our passengers. Tag. Moving platform. So every collider that has this tag can ride the platform. So I will add this tag to the player for now. So now we have a list of colliders that have this tag. We can iterate over them. Call this possible passengers. Item and possible passengers. We will check collider. Yeah. If check collider, meaning we are touching. Add to my list of passengers the thing I'm touching. So before we iterate over this list, we'll have to clear our current list of passengers. So that might be it. Okay, so we can see that the that green square is where that's the bounds of the moving platform. So that is way too small. So we'll make that bigger. That looks better. Oh yeah, see, there we go. It says 1. So it's like half of it. So what I'm writing right now probably isn't the most performant thing, but it doesn't have to be, because these rooms don't have that much going on in them. I can always make this more performant later. Let's just worry about making it work for now. So I need to... Performance is a myth anyway, so yes, it is. Yeah, it's one of those things you don't really have to worry about until it's a problem. So yeah, I need to iterate through my list of passengers and move them in the same way that I'm moving. So I need to remember how the train works. So right here is the code that actually moves the train. So I can save to a variable, like the distance traveled. Old position equals position. Distance traveled? Yeah, sure, let's call it that. And then with this information, we can move our passengers. So yeah, we'll have to declare this variable. Zagui, YouTube reminded me of stream. Now I am here. Thank you. Thank you, YouTube. Nice to know that it is working. Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, right now we're adding a moving platform. So Zoe can ride it. Before I start doing anything with this variable, I just want to make sure that it works. So right now the platform is going up, and the game is telling me that the distance traveled was -1 point something. The origin point is the top left, so yeah, -1 is up. Going up, going down. Yeah. That looks correct to me. So yeah, for every passenger in our list of passengers, offset their position by... Okay, so now realizing this moving platform does not know of the train it is connected to. So it's another problem we will have to solve. I could have a variable on the collider, which the train could set. I think I'll do it that way. Yeah, why not? Whatever. Putting it on the base thing class is maybe a little icky, but I don't care. Yeah, in case you don't know, every object, enemy, bullet, thing that draws text to the screen, they all derive from the thing class. So adding this variable just added the variable to like every single object in the game, which maybe I shouldn't do, but I'm doing it. But yeah, since the moving platform inherits from collider, which inherits from thing, I can now iterate over my list of passengers and reference the train that I'm attached to, and move them by the distance traveled, which may work. should probably check if my train, if I have a train in the first place. So if train equals null, return. Alright, let's see what happens. Oh, okay, it's kind of like pushing me. Check that out, yeah. Well, that was easy. So one problem I think will happen is if I move while I'm over the void, it's gonna get confused. Yeah, see? That was weird. So, it looked like it worked. But, making it look like it works is probably the easiest part. I didn't know we could make one of those. I literally just added that, like, 10 seconds ago. A cowboy. Huh. Pretty cool, huh? So yeah, the problem we need to solve now is why it's being weird. We're over a void. That's a problem. So in my collider code, I can probably figure out why that is happening. Oh, Paka, I added some of your music to the live stream playlist. I hope that's okay. I forgot to ask, but it's in there. There's like hundreds of other songs though, so pop up. What songs? I just went through all the songs you sent me and I picked the ones that kind of fit the vibe. Maybe I can put one on. Yeah, here. I added 4. Groovy sample, not sure, real alt trailer, and untitled. Let's all listen to Paka's song. You're very talented. Paka. Do you think any of your songs will flag my live stream for like copyright or whatever? I don't know what samples you used or done. Yeah, for this void issue, that's another stupid thing I can do. They're all Creative Commons, awesome. I believe. I think. Yes, so I may have just fixed the issue, who knows. Let's get on this thing. We're gaming. Oh, we're gaming. So yeah, what I did to fix this was colliders that are flying do not collide with the void. So that's used for enemies like the fly, so they don't care what's ground and what isn't. The problem is now that I'm always flying, so I need to. Okay, this is another loop that I'm doing. Kind of gross. I think that should fix the issue I just described. Yeah, see? Now I'm glitching out. So that issue with the teleporter we had earlier, I might have to fix this moving platform now. So let's see why that's happening. Moving platforms, holy shit, that's right. It's happening. And it was a lot easier than I thought. Be right back, okay. Well, I'll stop what I'm doing until you come back. Moving platform nightmare continues. This hopefully should not be as bad as what I went through for Garbanzo Quest. I had some really complicated moving platforms. This should be significantly easier. So right now I'm just looking for the code that makes the character fall. Scooch punishment. That sounds promising. What did past Zachary do to current Zachary? Hi, I really liked Garbanzo Quest. Oh, thank you. I always like to hear that people like the game, so thank you. Yeah, right now we're working on the next game, which is Super Debt, which, do you make games for hobby or job? I am full-time. I worked in web development for about 5 years until I had enough money to quit. And that, yeah, I had enough money to make Garbanzo Quest, and now I'm making my second game. Things are a little tight, financially speaking, but I don't know when to give up, so I'm still here, making games. These just need to apply the speed of the player in the movement collision code, right? That would be the correct way to do it. The way I'm doing it is kind of stupid, but it's working. And I may escape unpunished, depending on how I use these moving platforms. I do know right now that the way I have done it will not work with walls. So if I put a wall here, something stupid will happen. Get rid of the cowboy. So, yeah, I see. I just passed right through the wall. By the way, I'm happy you put the Garbanzo Quest OST on YouTube. Yeah, it actually took quite a while to do that because I had to render videos for every single song. It took forever. But yeah, I'm glad people enjoy the soundtrack. I do want to put it on Spotify as well, but you have to work with a publisher, and a lot of them cost money. So I haven't gotten around to it. What engine do you use? For Garbanzo Quest, I made my own engine with Monogame. And for Super Debt, well, what we're looking at now, I made my own engine again using Raylib. So yeah, I don't like, I don't know, I think it's fun to make your own engine. You aren't just setting their XY, right? That's exactly what I'm doing, which I might be able to get away with if I don't want to do stuff like this. I think for stream, I'll do the easy implementation, and then like the way you're supposed to do it, I can do off stream because that'll probably take a while. This is how games get finished, okay? you gotta take shortcuts sometimes. Why do I call it Garbanzo? So yeah, when I was trying to come up with the name for the game. I went through every name there was for beans, and garbanzo was always like the best one. Um, yeah, and you know, at the grocery store here in America, you do still see like um, chickpea and garbanzo kind of like are used interchangeably. Like, it's not too uncommon to find a can of chickpeas that says garbanzo beans on it. Yeah, it's a very normal word here. So right here's the code that scooches you. Scooching mean like if you just barely miss like the ground, it should push you back in bounds. That's what's see it just happened there. That's what's supposed to be happening. Yeah, you can see my green circle square is touching the ground. It puts me back in bounds. And if I'm not touching the ground, I die. So this code isn't quite properly doing what it's got to do all the time. Scooch. Oh, yeah, see? Because it's only checking when I exit dash. You can also make the platform move the player if you have a function for moving and colliding together. I don't. I just have... yeah, I just have, like, on the collider, there's a velocity. And, like, you know, when you change the velocity, that... as long as I move things with the velocity and don't, like, just set their position, it should work. Which, maybe I could do that instead. So yeah, in this moving platform code, instead of like move their position by this much, I could change their velocity. Which might actually just work. Yeah, we'll come back to this in a second. We'll see if this just works. So, yeah, see, it's kind of something right. Show me right. That's because this distance traveled thing. Yeah. Yeah, when I do the I'm changing the velocity here, it's adding on top of this the delta time, which makes this way less than it's supposed to be. Again, I can fuss with this later and make it less stupid, but for this stream, I can just go with the stupid version for now. Delta time? Ugh, what do you mean? Yeah, when... scary code. What is it? Velocity. My code is scary. You should be afraid. Getting close. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is where this collider object, the velocity is actually being applied. So in the event that we didn't collide with anything, the position is moved by my full velocity times the delta time. I just don't use delta time. It makes stuff inconsistent. I didn't know you could just not do that. How does that work with like different frame rates and stuff? I have worked, most of my professional life as a programmer, but I've always thought of myself as more of like an artist that happens to know how to program, which is kind of like my attitude when I make my games. I'm just kind of trying to make things work. Care too much code quality. I mean, I want it to, be fun to work on. So I do have some standards, but I'm not too much of too fussy about it. You guys keep distracting me. That's okay though. That's kind of what this is. Right, we were going to fix this issue, which is pretty important. Gotcha. Yeah, this is bad. And that is because we're only checking to scooch the player after we exit from a dash. Can you just do this every frame? It's probably very expensive. That's weird, but that should fix this problem. Yeah, see? Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure how I would implement that in like a custom engine. Yeah, when I worked with Unity, I know there's like a fixed update function that you can use, so you don't have to like think about like delta time and stuff. I died. Yeah, normally when you fall off the edge, the game teleports you to your last safe position. But since I'm on a moving platform, yeah, my safe position is where the platform was. So, yeah, I need to know if I'm a passenger or not. I can do it this way. You're gonna make a Trello for your space game? Are you gonna make it public so I can look at it? So yeah, now I can check if I'm a passenger. Do not set the safe position. Oops. Is passenger. So that should fix that problem. Nope. Wrong. Wrong. Okay, I did. It does not contain. It's still happening. Why? This can return a boolean. Weird. That's better. It crashed. Crash, crash, crash. Do that no more. So this may be enough to mess around with. I don't want to bother fixing all the edge cases if I end up deciding that this isn't actually any fun. What's my Trello board look like? I am happy to show you. Yeah, here it is right here. It is. I have a few plugins installed. One of them is to make the what is it called? The categories collapsible. I have another one that hides all the upsell stuff that I actually made myself. Because normally there's like buttons everywhere that are like, buy this, buy that, upgrade to premium. So I went in and like found the CSS to like hide the buttons because they annoyed me. So that makes it nice and clean. That's the beautiful thing about browsers is that you can do whatever you want. But yeah, I probably have too many categories. How did you find that? Just through the inspector. I like would, hover the button and I'd find like, oh, it has this class on it, and then, and you can make your own browser extension that like says like everything with this class, make it invisible. That's what I did. Yeah, good old homemade ad block. But how do I get rid of this? Go away. Okay. Yeah. So my categories are very much like every time I add a new task, it goes into this backlog. I have this other category that's for like things I want to do soonish, like this. So you can think of to do as like sometime this month I want to do this, and doing is supposed to be stuff I want to do like today. But as you can see, there's already like way too much crap in here. I also have another category just for like things that I think might be fun to do on the live stream. I have this test category where sometimes I'll finish doing something, but I don't feel like actually testing it right now, so I'll just shove it in here. This is like where it's like it's probably done, but I should probably check it again. And of course I have this done category. Yeah, I've found that if you don't manually archive everything in here, like it gets really laggy. So if your Trello is slowing down, you might want to empty your done list or whatever. Yes, I usually have to do, in progress, pause, completed. That's pretty much what I have. I have a few extra ones that make sense for like my workflow. So now that I have this moving platform, I think I want to figure out how it can be actually used in the game. Or make your own board app. I've thought about that, but you know, it's just another one of those things that takes time. I think this could be. So I think this should be like way slower. Probably be smaller. I just want to copy and paste this. This could be cool. Hello, I return. Welcome back. We've made some progress with the moving platforms. It's still a little... Something's going on. I don't know what. It's probably... Dodging seems a little janky. Yes, I will fix that, probably. Why? What's the reason for the original name Reform? Yeah, the code name for Super Debt is Reform. You can see, yeah, it's in the namespace Reform. Reform is the last level in Garbanzo Quest, so I was just being kind of cute with that. Oh, it's because I don't have a safe spot. It's meant to be like an alternate timeline, right? Yeah, that's yeah. Super Debt is in an alternate reality, Garbanzo Quest, and I did it that way so that I can, you know, reuse lots of stuff from Garbanzo Quest, and I did work really hard to like come up with that universe, and I think it would be fun to flesh it out more, and, you know, work on that more. Yeah, Garbanzo did not save the world in this timeline. How did she turn from Fish Lady to this? Yeah, I can bring it up. The Zoe, so yeah, Zoe, the main character of Super Debt, is in Garbanzo Quest as one of the friends you can save. And I drew her once, and I never looked back in the 3 years that I worked on the game. I just did one pass, and I was like, just kind of forgot about it. Yes, it is rushed. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, Zoe's a character I came up with like when I was like 18 or something. Ouch. So why is that? Yeah, that's one of the things I was considering with for Zoe's character, was that she's trans. I'm not. I feel like I'm worried about doing that because I don't want to misrepresent anything, but I don't know. I thought that could be another layer. Should probably chat with some of my trans friends about that. So I don't know, misrepresent something. No, you're not reading into it too much. Yeah, exactly. What's the deal with integer scaling? You're talking about this, right? So yeah, normally the game. Right, I'm mixing up my shortcuts. I changed them in between Garbanzo Quest and Super Debt. But yeah, normally the game renders to 480 by 270. And then it scales up to whatever's the best fit for your monitor. So yeah, with integer scaling on, we can see it's a little more chunky. But if we turn it off, it uses float scaling instead, and it like you might be able to see some warping with the pixels, which is what happens when you multiply pixels by a not true number, a not whole number. Is there any reason to have it on? It's just to preference, whatever looks better to you. I also added this upscaling thing, which should help with if you have float scaling on, it should look better. You should be able to see less of the warping in the pixels. But it's more expensive on your computer. So whatever your computer you can handle and whatever looks best to you. Is there really no way to get around that? To the best of my knowledge, this is like what I'm doing with this upscaling and float scaling stuff is like the workaround. You could use like bilinear filtering to get rid of the pixel warping, but that kind of makes everything look really, it's not good for pixel art, like really soft and fuzzy. Throw some enemies in here and see how it feels. So, yeah, dodging these crazy patterns is definitely a little more difficult to manage on these moving platforms. Test it with different enemies. Yeah, 5 times scaling is like crazy. I should probably make it the max less than that. Yeah, that's another thing I have to change with the moving platform is that you're not constricted to the platform, so when you go over the void, you just die. Is that a CPU or GPU? Yeah, I think maybe I can even do that right now. The max is 5. Let's change it to 3. I don't know why you would ever want it to be 5 times. I'm gonna make a Trello app in Pico 8. I'm calling it Pelican, and the cursor is a pelican bait. It's very cute. If you end up finishing that, maybe I'll switch over from Trello. So far, I'm not convinced of the moving platforms. I think they would make a lot more sense in a game where you can't fly, like over like gaps and stuff. That glitch is pretty annoying. You're my dog. Just making sure no one kills me during this live stream. Fuss with that more later. Yeah, these are affected by treadmills, which is not something I want. So now I have to remember where exactly that stuff is happening. Okay. So in here, I can say ignore treadmills equals true. So these little poop things won't move on the treadmills anymore. Yeah, for World 3, I'm still just kind of trying to figure out what exactly it is and what stuff you'll find in here. There should be more. Think so you see how when I try to move in the opposite direction of the treadmill, I go like nowhere? I might want to change that. So you like move slowly. You're a little fast. It's a little better. Yeah, I think I already like that better. Yeah, something I noticed when I was messing with the moving platform is that it's kind of interesting trying to weave through bullets while there's this force being applied to you. I don't like how the bullets don't stand out on top of the treadmills. So I might choose a different color for these. It should stand out, but not too much. Go with that for now. Hello. Take it here. How's it going? Yeah, right now we're just messing with treadmills. Trying to figure out. Almost feel like this needs less contrast. This might be something. Make it a little bigger. I wonder how this feels with a different weapon. Treadmills. Sheesh. Pico 8 is not the play. Yeah, the resolution is tiny. I don't know how you're gonna do that. The text alone. Maybe I can slow down the treadmills. On their own, it's not much, but you know, when I'm throwing all these bullets at you. Yeah, this feels more. Yeah, I can make treadmills faster for every indictment you have. Oh, yeah, the treadmills will move you a little faster every indictment you pick up. have a question. Which methods should I use for a draw order system for the components drawn in monogame? Which would be better? Should I use layer depth parameter of the draw function? I never figured out what that does. The layer depth function in monogame. Or should I use link queue functions like order by in the list? Or are there other methods? So I've come to learn that link stuff is like really slow. So if you're like ordering your components like every frame, you might experience performance issues in the future. I can show you what I did for Super Det. Yeah, when I draw like stuff to the screen, all I do is I iterate over my list of things that I have to draw to the screen. And they are ordered. Yeah, every time I add a new thing that must be drawn to the screen, that sets up this thing to queue up a reorder, which will just take my list of things I must draw to the screen and orders it by an arbitrary number. So yeah, every thing that gets drawn to the screen has a number that lets the engine know like what order they should be drawn in. So the higher this number, like the closer to us they are. So a thing with a high number will get drawn to the front, and things with low numbers get drawn to the back. Yeah, to put it simply, I just use link to order a list of things. I think, but the key information there is to not do that like every single frame. What I do is every time I add a new thing, at the end of the loop, if the game noticed that a new thing was added, it reorders the list. Yep. And maybe that's not the best way to do things, but it works for me. You use a dirty flag to make it not work all the time? I don't know what that means. But it sounds like I did something wrong. A dirty flag. Yeah, this is just a boolean which gets set to true every time this function gets called. This function gets called every time something is created or whenever something is destroyed. Reorder flag. Yeah, I just use a reorder flag. Yep. Okay, that might be something. Maybe. a spawn. It's kind of neat. So even if you dodge the bullet, it can kind of surprise you by going through the teleporter. That should be. It's kind of fun. You can cheat, of course. Yeah, I should make it so you can't cheat. Walls is something I don't usually use. It's either ground or void. But this is fun. I like forcing you to engage with the teleporters. That's fun. The way the teleporters connect is random, which is great for a roguelike. Anything we can make random, it's usually random. That's what we want. We want things to be random. If I'm gonna start using these slabs everywhere in this world, I at least want them to be sort of themed. So I will make a new one. That's a different color. Make it darker. Slab dark. Now all I have to do is copy this import file. Oops, I think that's it. And there it is. Okay, great. That's a little better. I don't hate that. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't decided on what background shader I want to use yet. Definitely not that one. Yes, I added some of the music from the Fez OST after you recommended it. Yeah, I went to their Bandcamp, and I don't have the whole OST, but they do have some free songs that I downloaded. So there's only like 5. They're in there. Yeah, I like this. This is good. Oops. That's normal. Yippee. Did you make the moving platform? I did. I don't know if I like it though. I can show you how far we got. Are you still using Pico 8 to make your to-do list? I'm curious how that's going. Yeah, the moving platform is here. It's kind of glitchy, and I'm just left wondering what the purpose of it is. It would work a lot better if you couldn't fly over gaps and stuff, I think. Yeah, I'm just not right now motivated to keep working on it, because I feel like treadmills kind of functionally do the same thing. They're not broken. I'll fuss with it later. Love it? Yeah, thanks. God damn it. I touched the thing again, that crashes the game. I want to keep playing with teleporters. I think that's what I want to do right now. I think these could be fun. I've been playing Star of Providence, and they also use teleporters in their game. I think it's interesting, some of the things they did. So let's steal some of their ideas. Yeah, I'm already getting some brain activity from this stuff. Oops. That does not look centered. Does this work with an odd number of teleporters? Nope, it crashes. Okay. It crashes. Keep that in mind. So, yeah, we're just messing around, trying to see if I get any ideas. What was the hardest part of making a game engine? That's a good question. Um, for Mono Game, yeah, for the Garbanzo Quest engine, um, I just learned so much along the way, and I had to deal with like decisions I had made when I didn't know what I was doing. Um, but I think the hardest part of the Garbanzo Quest engine was definitely the music. Um, yeah, I had to learn about since Mono Game doesn't have the best like song looping stuff built in by default. Like you can't set loop points. Like say your song has an intro and you want it to like when it's time to loop, it goes to like 30 seconds in instead of like just right to the beginning. You can't do that by default with Mono Game. So I had to learn how to like read and write like audio buffers and stuff, which is like I'm super not interested in that. Like, the part of making my own engine I like was, you know, making the tools and like the scroll bars and stuff. All like the boring stuff, like handling controller input, bringing up a window. That's what I want the engine framework to do for me. But by the time I had learned that Mono Game couldn't do that, I was already like pretty deep, so I just had to figure it out. But one of the things I like about Raylib is that built-in audio track. It's my container for like songs and stuff. Seek music stream. You can do that by default with the Raylib framework. This does not exist in Mono Game. Like, added a lot of like a week worth of work to like learn about audio buffering and stuff. Maybe I could even bring it up. Kind of gives me anxiety just looking at it, but progressive sound. Yeah, all this stuff. Yeah, in the oh, there's such a pain too, the way it works. Let's see if I can bring it up. Yeah, on all the individual songs themselves, I had to add these like meta properties, metadata thingies. Yeah, like loop start, and this number is where in the song the loop starts, and it's in the unit of measurement called samples, which like I'm not an expert on audio stuff, so like this was all very new terrain for me. But yeah, you can see down here, this is the position in samples where we are right now. So like for every single song, I had to like go all the way down like into the wavelength and figure out exactly where like the loop should go. And if it's not in like the perfect spot when it loops, there's like this popping. It would like drive me crazy just trying to figure out like where exactly the loop point should go. Yeah, I hate that part. But yeah, that meta data property, whatever it's called, gets read here, and other stuff happens. I don't know. It's all a blur. Yeah, what the hell is this stuff? 0xFF 0x. I don't know what that means. A lot of this I found from like a random post on Reddit that solved this issue with Mono Game. Yeah, but yeah, so far I've found Raylib a little easier to work with. It's still a lot of work, of course, and they're still like, you know, they each have their own problems and pros and cons and whatever, but yeah, whenever people ask me that question, this definitely comes to mind. Like, all I wanted to do was have the song loop to a certain point, and I had to learn all this weird audio buffer stuff to do that. It's like crazy. Yeah, I can't. I'm excited to see your to-do list thing at later. Where am I? This works better with just the two. And I think I had more frustrations with mono games since it was like my first like big project. I don't think that helped at all. I just export 2 files. I thought about doing that, but I didn't want to. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should be able to just have one song and have a loop point in it. Looking back on it, maybe I should have just bit the bullet and split everything into like 2 songs or whatever, intro and main part. But I'm sure that could have introduced its own problems. How many? Garbanzo Quest has so many songs. I think there. How many? There's 77. I don't know. That would have been really annoying to have to like cut every song up that has like an intro or not. I don't know. Maybe that is what I should have done. Is this something? Age-old question. Now I can't stop thinking about song looping. I'm currently working on the editor part, and the editor tool part is very confusing for me. Yeah, it's just one of those things that takes time. Yeah, for me personally, I think it's like a lot of fun making your own tools and stuff. I mean, I guess my advice would be to like start simple, like even just to have like a mouse on screen and be able to draw things and be able to save that to whatever format you want, and loading it into the game is like a huge step. If you can get that working, that's pretty cool. This looks cool, but is it fun? More mini games. Did these? What I'm working on right now are the rooms for World 3. which are like kind of like technology themed. I haven't fully established like the art and theme yet, but that's kind of my working idea. This is wonky. The bullets come out of the teleporter too. But yeah, one of the gimmicks for World 3 is also in between these normal rooms will be these like swarm, I don't know what the name is, like enemy swarm fights where it's just one room and like lots of dumb enemies try to kill you. I think it's fun. The medium bullets, that's interesting, cannot be teleported. Yeah, I keep mixing up these two classes. I meant to add it to projectile, which is the class that all the bullets derive from. Now, the medium bullets should be affected by the teleporter. So right now I can't add these swarm enemies in yet to normal levels, but I think that might be fun. I might make it so they can be used elsewhere. So to do that, I just have to add a bunch of import files. What the hell did I do? Back to our happy sprite. It's just the smiley guy. Weird character. Happy. What's this called? Doesn't matter. Oh, single. Yeah. So I may need to update the code for the character too. I guess not. Yeah, if the class doesn't have this create function, I can't add that thing through the editor. It'll just crash the game. It's already there. I remembered. I'll just copy and paste this for all the swarm enemies. The lips is just called mouth. The lips is called mouth. That's a weird sentence. Yep, that's there. Yep. Just checking for any potential crashes. If I reload the editor, yeah, there they are. These guys can chase me around. Try to pick up these souls. Yeah, this is already kind of wacky. We're getting wacky in here. Might be too many things. Yeah, it's kind of fun. This thing should shoot like weightless. Oh yeah, the period is just how often it will shoot. So, period of 4 is every 4 seconds. It'll shoot at us. I feel like these rooms should be a little bigger. One of them could be a cowboy. What I can do is I can put 4 of them in here and delete 3 of them randomly. So that way the cowboy will have a random position. This destroy random gizmo does. Bottom right, bottom left. It always feels good after them chasing you around. You can finally get them. Okay. We may be figuring out what World 3 is going to be like. Need a spawn. Yeah, sometimes it helps to just throw stuff in a room and see if anything comes to mind. I think there's still plenty of things we can do with the teleporters. Collide with walls. Bankrupt tile? I keep forgetting to put those in there. I will, just for you, I will put a bankrupt tile somewhere. This is a nasty place to put one. You'll love this. You can't, the shader makes them a little hard to read, unfortunately. I don't know, buddy. I mean, it still looks like something that you shouldn't touch. Maybe I can make a special one just for this shader. It's called skull tile because I can't be consistent. How's the shader work? I think it... What's it do? It takes everything that... It takes all the colors and makes them white except for the outline in red. Skull tile 2. It's just a special one. It works better with this shader. I don't think it's gonna. Yeah. So yeah, I'm hard coding the sprite here. Just need to fix that. Which will cause a reload, I think. Oh yeah, that looks better. See? You can see the skull. You can see the skull. Great work on Garbanzo quest. Good luck on this one, dude. Thank you, Yo-Yo. I appreciate you. Oh yeah, there we go. That is not a thing to touch. Now I can put them in here. Now isn't that nice? Don't want to touch those. I still feel like I haven't quite figured out this is. Step on it. Yeah, you're welcome. I did that just for you. No problem. What's the point of this? You know? What's the point of it all? Is this any different than just, you know, having to be open like that? Booty. A fun idea just popped in my head, completely unrelated to what we're working on. What if this saw spinner could change directions just after X seconds or something? I might make that a thing it can do. We'll hard code it to 1 second. Yeah, this will be easy actually. This will be so easy. Flip duration. So yeah, in the event that flip duration is greater than 0, time is equals delta. If flip time is less than or equal to 0, then we'll reset it. And direction destination equals direction target. We're getting wacky with our names. Okay. Direction equals direction over time towards our direction destination. I think I need 2 of these. What is he, stupid? Yeah, that's it. So I'll have to reload. It's fine. Thank God it only takes what, like 5-10 seconds to reload. Good. Like, there we go. Look, it's doing it. Oh my God, it's doing it. I think I want to slow this down like a lot. Yeah. Oops. What are you doing? Why is it so fast? Oh, it's an integer. Because I'm stupid. Doi. Now it's too slow. It's not. Oh, yeah, see? Look. Wagging his tail like a doggy. Yeah, it's changing directions way too quickly. I wish it was a little slower as well. It set it to 10 seconds. Yeah, see? 10 seconds. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Huh? Oh. Huh. That's fun. I can make it random too, so it's a little predictable. Half a second? Or should it be a whole second? Have a flip. That'll be another variable we will add at one point. By default, it's 1. So right now, as I've programmed it, every saw spinner in the game will do this, which is not what I want. I want it to be a variable that I can mess with. There's already plenty of those. Flip duration by default will be 0, meaning don't ever flip. Range, that is the random number that will be added on top of the duration. So always to 0. Oh. We're going to be breaking stuff a little bit. I will turn off the hot reload for a moment. So just have to add 2 parameters here: flip duration and flip range. Float. Duration is null by default. Flip range. Cool. That might be it. So it should act as normal. That looks pretty normal to me. You can see every 2 seconds flip. So that's it's not a very long duration. So, but we can see that it's working, which is pretty cool. And I think it's starting at 0, so it's flipping immediately. We want to set the flip time to the flip duration. That's what's wrong. Pretty cool. So yeah, even when I'm just like making rooms and stuff, things will just kind of pop into my head and I'll get distracted adding that stuff. Whoa. Yeah, this is fun. Mess with the values a bit. Yeah, this is definitely something. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. Do those emoji guys spawn in randomly sometimes? It's like that would be a cool idea, but it's like a glitch. For some reason, whenever I load a room for the first time, one cowboy emoji shows up. It doesn't happen during normal play. Just whenever I go from editor to, yeah, see, there he is. I don't care enough to worry about it. Yeah, I like that. It changes direction. Maybe make it a little slower. Yeah, it's probably just whatever code makes the emoji spawn in here is getting applied over here for some reason. I don't know, man. Yeah, it could be a random chance. Like, it's not terrible if it does happen. It's funny. So another thing I want to add is when you kill the cowboy guys in this mode, they spawn like apples and stuff, which are kind of like the saw blades, but you can destroy them. I also want to be able to spawn them on their own, which is what I will do right now. I am reusing the meat saw code. I just need to copy this for eyeball. So yeah, I just have to program this a little better since I'm changing how things work a little bit. So yeah, I have to make it so I can pass in the size through the import file. So I'm doing here. Is it 12? Or is it 14? It is 12. Okay. Yeah, right here. I'm forgetting the syntax here. Just keep clicking around until I find one. Yeah, it's an it's an object. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's what I did wrong. I thought it was an array. Okay, yep, that's it. The squigglies went away. All right. I should be able to place these manually. Still no small garbanzo on the webcam? I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm a busy man. Oh, I put them in the main. I mixed these two up. It should be the layer should be main and the category should be enemies. Whoops. That's why it didn't work. There it is. All is well. I am hard coding the sprite name. Okay, that'll have to reload. Oops. It went faster to just let the game crash. There it is. Going back and forth between Garbanzo Quest and this, the shortcuts are different. What is wrong? So I can just do this now. This code's a little jank. Actually, size is 12, tile size is 16. Plus jank. I'm breaking too much stuff. Rearrange this a bit. Now will it build? No. Because this needs to be positioned differently. Maybe now. That looks better. It booted. It's usually a good sign. That looks like an apple. That looks like an eyeball. There's a lot going on. So I will remove some enemies at random. Let's say 2 to 3. Howdy. Oh my god, that I forgot it changes direction. It could be a little slower because it almost gets me. It'll definitely get someone else. Bump that up to 0.65. Yeah, it's fun. I'm digging it. Make this a little less claustrophobic. I hope I'm not abusing this mechanic. I do like it. I use it a lot. Yeah, the souls weren't affecting the eyeballs. I hit them. I picked up all the souls. That's something. Really excited about this mechanic. It's really simple, but a lot. Need to spawn first, of course. Whoa, this is wild, huh? It's fun. How long has it been? 2.5 hours. I think I might call it. Feeling a little tired. Yeah, before we go, I would like to thank my patrons because they're lovely people. Because they give me money. Yeah, before we end the stream, I'd like to thank RIT Magic Center, John Paul Gardner, Dojin Shinji, Chip Chip, Rockonoceros, Guyman, I Am Dylan, Kent Reese, Osto, Paka, Ryan Neese, Quentin McCollum, Ishmael Rodriguez, Nosa, Jake Horsley, Yossi C, Bailey, and James, and Yoshi Foods. Yeah, if you'd like to support Super Debt and check it out early, you can go over to patreon.com/SuperDebt /Zach is a gardener. It says it right there. Um, yeah, and you know, if you can also wish list the game on Steam and stuff. Superdebt.com. I tried to buy Superdebt just one word, and it's like 5,000 a year. So I didn't do that. I got the one with the dash instead, which is $15 a year, which is more affordable. But yeah, you can go over to super/debt.com and wishlist super debt and all that. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.